educators. Do you ever feel that your money disappears before the month does? Well, you're not alone. And today we're working to solve that. We're going to dive into a simple and empowering way to budget that actually can fit into your busy life. Teachers, you give so much every day. You're shaping lives and you're inspiring the future. But when it comes to your retirement, the path forward can feel uncertain. If you're an educator juggling demands, busy schedules, and financial stress, you are not alone. Many teachers worry about outliving their savings, or managing their pension, or ensuring long-term care without burdening their family. With pensions often alone falling short, many educators struggle to bridge the gap between what they need and what they have for a secure retirement. That's where Educators Financial Foresight Weekly comes in. Each week, I'll guide you through clear, actionable steps to understand your pension and spot hidden gaps, build retirement income strategy tailored to your needs, protect your savings from inflation and unexpected costs, and plan for long-term care and estate needs without burdening your loved ones. Your career has been about making a difference. Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and LinkedIn. Let's build a retirement as rewarding as your career. Welcome to this week's episode of Educators Financial Foresight Weekly, your step-by-step guide to financial peace of mind. I'm your host, former educator turned financial planner, Debbie Major, and I thank you for joining us today. Thanks for tuning in either on LinkedIn or YouTube, and please be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode and so that others can find this series also. Well, last week I shared a video that I had actually completed last year called Intentional Spending. Thank you that there were many people who reached out after and said that they enjoyed it and they got something out of it. You know, I really love your feedback. It really helps me to know what's going on. If you have suggestions or feedback for future episodes, please feel free to share it in the comments or DM me on LinkedIn. I'd be really happy to share with whatever it is that you have on your heart. 2 weeks ago, we talked about, how to make your summer financially empowering. So this week, I'm going to give you the tool or a tool that can help you feel financially empowered. And that's, we're going to go back to the basics and talk about a simple budget. This is a budget that's simple enough for your busy life and empowering enough to support your goals. So stick with me today and let me know in the comments if you can. What is your biggest budgeting challenge right now? Well, here's the reality. Most educators are working with a steady income, which is great. But expenses aren't always so predictable. Whether it's to do with your profession, like classroom supplies or professional development cost or summer income gaps if you don't get a paycheck in the summer, or it has to do with your home life, like traveling or healthcare costs or things for your children, it all can add up fast. In fact, 65% of teachers report financial stress during the summer. And many wait until retirement to realize their pension won't fully cover their lifestyle. And that's why budgeting, yes, even a simple one, matters more than ever. All right. Well, I've talked about a bucket plan earlier in other segments of this series. But I wanted to kind of take that analogy and apply it to a simple way to visualize our budget. I am a visual learner. Anything that can give me an easy way to picture something, I do kind of follow after that. So that's why I like that bucket analogy. And it's a pretty popular analogy for different things. So obviously I'm not the only one that sees this as the way to make it. But when we look at budgeting and we look at 3 buckets, we can look at our first bucket as being our needs bucket. All right. This would be our essentials like mortgage, groceries, gas, insurance, minimum debt payments that you have to make, all those things that no matter what, every single month you have to pay for. And the number to put up there, we're going to use percentages, would be 50%. So, put the amounts in and add them up and see what kind of percent of your budget that you have, of your income, and 50% is the goal. Bucket 2, we're going to call our wants. All right, and these are the things that bring you joy. We're not talking extravagant things. We're just talking about, your night out, or your extra coffee run that you like to make, or streaming services, things that you like to have. You can do it without, but they're nice to have and you want to have them. And on that bucket, let's put 30%. So we're up to 80%. Now the third one, you can probably guess what that one's going to be if you have listened to any of my series, and I like to talk about retirement planning. But bucket 3, we're going to call goals. And we're going to put 20% in bucket 3. Or that's going to be our goal for what we have in bucket 3. And this is your future bucket. So it's your savings, it's your retirement contributions, it's any extra debt payments that you would make. If you treat them like an expense, this is something that you are always going to pay. Your 403B payments that automatically come out of your paycheck, that would go in there, obviously. Anything that your spouse or that you would have go to a 401k, that obviously, those would go in the goals. Any specific goal you have, even like buying a new house, anything like that. We're not thinking, we're thinking goals. So, a lot of the stuff might be later and other things may not. Like you could put your emergency fund would probably be in both your need and your want, and it could be in your goal depending on how much you have in it now and how much you want to have in it, your emergency fund. Because that can be a different answer for different people that I talk to. Some people feel really comfortable with, 3 months of their salary in an emergency fund. Some people don't feel comfortable with that at all. They want 6 months in there. And some people are saying, man, I'm just still trying to get my emergency fund going right now. So if you're just getting it going, it obviously is going to be part of your needs. You want to make it part of that 50% that you have to do. And then when you get it to where your baseline goal is, move it to a want and then keep filling it up. And then when it gets to where you want it to be, put it in your goals until you use it. Because all of these things can be now, but we want to also be thinking about the future, which would be those kinds of things would be going in our bucket 3. So it's bucket 1 would be our needs, about 50% of our income there. Bucket 2 are wants, about 30% of the income, and bucket 3 goals, 20% is the incentive for that. So see if you can just categorize them 3 easy ways, and that's why I picked this, and I like this, is it's just 3 easy ways. We're dealing with percentages. So you can compare what maybe you should have to what it actually is, and then you can look at the expenses and see, well, is there any adjustments I can make, anything I need to do? It could be increasing or decreasing, either way, depending on what you're looking at, and how does it all kind of fit together? And it's not something that's strenuous that you have to keep working on all the time, or a spreadsheet. We have to make sure that you put in everything every single month. But you want to make sure that every quarter or so you go back and you say, okay, where in alignment are my expenses to my 3 buckets of needs, wants, and goals? Okay? It's sort of like, planning your weekly lesson plans, right? You prep in advance, you keep your categories clear, you make it meaningful, right? And that's what a budget does for your money. It makes your things clear, and it makes things meaningful, and it helps you prep in advance. As a former educator, and I taught in both public and private schools, budgeting often felt like a to-do in an already packed day when I didn't have enough hours to even fit into the day. But, it isn't about spreadsheets or about restrictions. It's just about intention. And that's what I've been trying to get through the last few weeks is, what is our intention? Is our intention to work toward our future self the way we want our future self to be? Or is our intention just to let whatever happens, happen? So if we're even a little bit intentional, that's what we want to be. And that's why I was trying to think of the way to make this simple for you so you can kind of get a picture of where you stand and what you could do if you're out of alignment with where you want to be, right? So we're kind of giving our money a job, right? Which then can bring clarity, and clarity can bring confidence. When I first started, I had people that either, and I still kind of do, people that bring me the spreadsheet of everything I highlighted and categorized and everything, or income and expenses. I've got people that bring me balance sheets of things that they have. And then I have others that, I have to send something to and say, I need you to put something in the line so that we know what it is. If you don't have an exact number for every month, then try and estimate what you think it is, ballpark it as close as you can, because future projections are always going to be based on whatever the budget is today. So it is important for future projections that we have a good handle on where our money is going every month, right? And one teacher, for example, that I worked with, she was calling it her lesson plan for money. And it just became part of what she did every week. And then she just checked in with it about every month. And she said that, hey, just like my classroom, my finances needed structure. And this simple shift gave her peace of mind that she hadn't felt in years. Can do that for you too. It's time now for Rookie's Quote of the Week. So today, this is what he's sharing, and it comes from John C. Maxwell. And he says, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Rookie says, don't let your money wander. Put it on a leash. All right. Well, let's recap before we go. All right. Budgeting isn't about cutting. It's about clarity. And if you use the 3-bucket method and it helps you today, it'll help you to prepare for tomorrow. Remember, you are already a planner. You build lesson plans, you plan field trips, you have family schedules that you keep. Now you can build a budget that supports the amazing life you're working so hard for. Well, if you want to dive deeper into your financial fitness this summer, please go ahead and head over to my resource page. Take advantage of one or more of the free courses there. The Financial Accelerator course is the most comprehensive course to get you to help you get your financial affairs in order. And you can take it piecemeal. You can always listen to it for 20 minutes or 10 minutes, stop, go back, and then pick it up from there. The course is yours once you sign up. So it will be there to help you along. It is the most comprehensive one. It includes pretty much everything to help you get through the planning for you that you can do for your financial life. Until next week, please keep showing up, keep shining, and know your financial future is worth planning for. Have a great week, everybody.